If you or someone you know are victims of human trafficking, call the National Human Trafficking Hotline. That number is 1-888-373-7888. You can also text 233-733. Befree. The National Human Trafficking Hotline is a national toll-free hotline available to answer calls, texts, emails, and live chats from anywhere in the United States, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, in more than 200 languages. The Trafficking Hotline's mission is to connect human trafficking victims and survivors to critical support and services to get help and stay safe. The Trafficking Hotline offers round-the-clock access to a safe space to report tips, seek services, and ask for help. That phone number is 1-888-373-7888. You can also go to humantraffickinghotline.org for live chat, around the clock, and more information.
Dog, I love it when you come see. I love it when you come see Grandma on Sunday nights, because I know there's only one reason you're coming to see Grandma on Sunday night. Because you know that's the night I like to eat my Jolly Ranchers. I get to sucking on them, Rob Dog. And then you like to see Grandma with her teeth out, don't you?
I do.
Do you like to see Grandma with her dentures out?
Oh, God. Fuck.
Don't send us an email. We've been getting a lot of nasty emails. Some guy keeps on sending us his feet.
Forward that to me.
I just don't like. I don't know why. I don't like. We talk a lot of fictitious stuff here, but this guy does not have good feet, and he keeps on sending them to us.
Yeah, that's the worst.
It's just such an odd way to send, maybe Snapchat somebody a picture of your feet.
Yeah.
Just not email it. Not email.
Yeah.
Instagram. I think even Facebook has a vanishing mode or something like that. Or
you could,
I don't know,
like fax it or something.
I don't do too much sneaking around. If I want to send you a picture of my feet, I'll just do it, Rob.
I know. I've come to expect it.
Oh, well, we're talking about we're talking about sex trafficking in this episode. You hang around to the end of us talking, you get the interview with our friend Haley.
Yeah.
She's got a story of her being kidnapped. She was sex trafficked, and she found her way out, and she's doing good things with her life now, and she's got a lot of good to share. We are so happy to have her on the show. She's an absolute dream.
Mm-hmm.
She's wonderful. She's a sweetheart.
Yeah, she's great.
So proud to have her as a listener.
Mm-hmm.
And it's it's humbling to hear stories like that. It really is. Just I'm thankful that I was never fucking forced to have sex with men. Not that I would have had to have been forced into doing that.
Yeah, right.
But I'm just glad knowing that she legit was like kidnapped. She said,
yeah,
it was like a movie. Someone took a rag and put it over her mouth.
Chloroformed her.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I was going to call it chlorophyll.
Chlorophyll?
And I didn't say it during the interview because, but now I'm thinking in my head, chlorophyll? More like borophyll.
Yeah. That got something to do with plants.
Chloroform is what you're talking about.
Yeah, chloroform. Chlorophyll is plants.
Yeah. Chloroform is what my mom used to use on us to go to bed.
Yes.
Yeah. And kids are dying because of Benadryl. Apparently there's a TikTok thing right now where you overdose on Benadryl. Listen here, motherfuckers. One of those things will make you sleep. You don't need to take any more than that.
Yeah.
Stupid. I hate kids. When I was patching that drywall today, I just cannot stand them. They're just icky. They're mean. They're rambunctious. They break shit.
So what happened with that? How did that happen? The drywall.
You don't know how it happened?
I don't think so.
My oldest daughter
Uh-huh.
was here with a friend.
Yeah.
They were in front of the snacky cabinet.
Okay.
The oldest daughter started dancing.
Okay.
She stepped on her sock. She fell down into the wall, head and shoulder in, just like the fucking shampoo, dog. Head and shoulders into the wall. Huge 12 to 16 inch hole in the wall.
Damn.
The size of her head and shoulder. I said, I don't believe you. I walked over there. I looked at the hole. All of her fucking hair stuck in the hole. So, yeah, I guess I do. I said,
Holy shit.
Okay. I believe you.
Yeah, maybe you did talk about this.
Maybe. And then today, I go to patching drywall that big. You got to put like wood behind it, you know, but you got to fucking put her in there.
You got to anchor it.
I go to the hardware store. I get the stuff I needed. I come home. I start to slap it together. I get it all, you know, I get the drywall compound. I thin it out a little bit. I'm putting it over the first coat, get everything laid down. I get everything looking real good. I'm proud of myself. I say, well, after I sand this bitch, this is going to look really good. Yeah. It's not going to look like a whole entire fucking human fell through this thing.
Right.
I walk in the living room. I look at all three of my kids. They look up. They look me in the eye, and I say, listen to me, guys. Look at me. Concentrate. They know I'm serious when I say, look at me. When I want them to make eye contact with me, I'm telling them something really important. Mm-hmm. I said, that hole in the hallway, I patched it. I fixed it. It's going to take a day to dry. There's a lot of compound on there. Don't touch it. Please, God, I worked so hard on this to make it look nice because it's the main passageway of our home. Don't touch it.
Yeah.
They all look at me. Okay, Dad. I walk down the steps to go out front to take the tools back to the garage. I come back up the steps 3 seconds later, and I say, you guys heard me, right? They all look at me again. They say, yeah. Half an hour later, Stacy gets home from the grocery store. She goes to the bathroom. She said, oh, you patched it. I said, oh, yeah, I did. She said, someone ran their finger through it.
Oh, my God.
I walked down the hallway. I'm like, motherfucker, someone took their finger, ran it through it, took 2 more steps down the hallway, and then wiped their finger off about 2 feet away from the patched hole.
Oh my gosh.
I look in the bathroom, and Paisley's squatted down, butt naked, underneath the sink, getting bath toys out. She's just squatting naked. And I said, did you put your fucking fingers in the hole out here? And she just looked at me with her hair in her face and like spaghetti and chocolate on her face. And she said, yeah. Didn't even try to lie. Yeah. And I said, why did you do that? She said, I don't know. I can't fucking take it anymore around here, dude. They're rising up against me.
I don't know.
They're assaulting my They're insulting my intelligence.
They're destroying your property.
They don't care, man. They just don't care. So now I've got a beautiful fucking patch job up there with a 6-year-old finger mark right through it.
I don't know.
It was just funny because she's sitting there squatted naked. And I'm just standing there like, why'd you run your finger through the? And I can imagine. No one likes to be cornered naked, you know.
Right.
No one likes to be subjected to interrogation while they're naked.
Yeah.
But man, she got it, and she was ready to. She rolled over. She was not about the lie. She said, "Yeah, I did it. So what? What are you gonna do?" She just.
No, at least she owned up to it.
I fucking don't even understand kids anymore, man.
Oh man, that's funny.
We got 3 new Patreon subscribers since we did a new episode 2 days ago. And first off is old Double D, Destiny Dockery. She wrote us and said, they don't call me Double D for nothing. I said, well, what do you mean? She said, my name's Destiny Dockery. I said, well, thanks for coming to the Brohio Patreon. That's why they call her the Dirty D.
Ooh.
Dirty Double D, Destiny. Yeah. Thanks, Destiny, for being here with us.
And next we got Christian Leahy, I think.
Leahy. You guys aren't doing the Peaches song at your house, are you? Jack Black Peaches?
A little bit.
Hasn't stopped here.
Really?
Had to learn it on the guitar yesterday for the kids. Good. How about old Tim Williams? If it's the same Tim Williams I used to work with, man, he used to watch me beat the ever-loving shit out of people, but I doubt it. That's a pretty common name, but Tim, if that's you, thanks for being here. If not, this is the new Tim Williams. You are my new Tim Williams, Tim.
Oh.
Thanks for...
Out with the old in with the new.
Yeah, man. And if you're the guy that keeps on sending us pictures of your feet, thank you. That is so fucking hot, man.
It's going right in the old spank bank.
And what's going on? What's going on out there? We got Madisonville, Texas. Shit's going down, man. We usually have a funny article for you.
Yeah.
This article says 6 cattle found dead in Texas with their tongues missing.
Probably the Dalai Lama.
Yeah, both of our news stories back to back.
Tongue related.
Tongue stories.
Yeah.
And dude, I fucking love French kissing too. So it only adds up that I would do a couple tongue stories. I'll tell my wife. I'll say she'll wake up in the morning. She'll say good morning. She doesn't even have her coffee yet. And I'll give her a kiss on the cheek, and she's just like kind of swaying, making her coffee. And I'll be like, "You give me some tongue?" And she says, "No, I don't care."
I like French kissing too, but I call it Mexican kissing because it's south of the border. Cha-ching! Got it.
In what could be a plot from an episode of The X-Files, the authorities are investigating the mysterious deaths in 3 Texas counties of 6 cattle that were found with their tongues missing.
Oh, man.
Ranchers found the mutilated remains of a 6-year-old longhorn cross cow on their property, the Madison County Sheriff's Office said on Facebook. The office did not say when the cow was discovered, but said a straight, clean cut with apparent precision had been made to remove the hide around its mouth on one side. The meat under the removed hide was untouched, and the cow's tongue was gone with no blood spilled.
Huh. Well.
It's a chupacabra.
Yeah.
There were no signs of a struggle, footprints, or tire tracks in the area, said the authorities, who added that the grass around the carcass was undisturbed. Ranchers also reported that no predators or birds would scavenge the remains of the cow, leaving it to decay untouched for several weeks, the sheriff's office said. Well, what the fuck is going on out there? In its investigation, which is Madison County, which is about 100 miles southeast of Waco, the office said it had learned of 5 other similar cases that involved 4 adult cows and 1 yearling in Brazos, that's a good porn website.
That's what I was thinking.
In Robertson counties. Each of those cases were reported in different locations, pastures, and herds. Though the exact cause of death for the livestock is unknown, each of them was found the same way, on their sides with the exposed part of their face cut along the jawline and their tongues removed. Only 2 of the 5 cows, a circular cut was made, removing the anus and...
Oh, fuck yeah.
Oh, shit.
I love it.
All these news articles are always trying to make me come. On 2 of the 5 cows, a circular cut was made, removing the anus and external genitalia, the office said. This circular cut was made with the same precision as the cuts noted around the jaw lines of each. This is fucking gnarly, dude. This is going on right now. Oh, man. It cut my cow's anus out. What the fuck? We got to do an episode on cattle mutilation. It just, yeah, man, it's...
Oh, dude, I'd be so salty if I was that cow.
The cow!
So
You're the fucking rancher, you're the farmer, you go out there and check your prize cow, they don't do anything to it, except for cut its asshole out.
Take its asshole.
Now, what the fuck they want that for? It's a delicacy, right?
I suppose, man.
I hear cow tongue's pretty good. I've never
I've heard that too.
Cow asshole?
I don't know about that, man. Maybe they're putting the tongue through the asshole.
That just seems like something kind of boredom brought that on.
Yeah. And they're making like trinkets for a flea market or something.
Fuck, dude. I don't know. Scary stuff.
Yeah.
Wish someone cut out my asshole.
Oh, man.
I will say I went to Poasttown Elementary School this weekend for a ghost hunt to watch the guys over at Cryptids of the Corn and Hillbilly Horror Stories. Had a friend of the show there and his daughter, and we went up to the mean teacher's room, and we had a fucking catastrophic paranormal event, and all of us nearly perished. All of us nearly died.
Love when that happens.
All I'm saying is Poasttown Elementary's got some shit going on, dog.
Oh, yeah. I like that.
That dude, it was a locker that slammed.
Mm-hmm.
That poor dude shit himself.
He should have.
He did not represent Brohio or the brand very well.
Yeah.
He fucking pooped all over himself.
Yeah.
He was scared. Me, on the other hand, I sat there stoically with my diaper filled to the brim. Didn't tell anybody that I pooped my pants. Be my daughter, my 10-year-old. We gotta get the fuck out of here. We gotta get the fuck out of here. I think I heard her say shit once, but I didn't say anything.
Shit. Well, I mean, yeah, you can't really say anything when something like that happens. Like, okay, I understand and respect it.
For real. All right, let's take a quick break for a few of our sponsors. You just fucking, you cream?
Mouth noise.
Oh, mouth noise.
I went to yawn and my mouth just went.
Don't you wish you could gleek on command?
I used to be able to.
Really?
Yeah, then I stopped doing it, and then now I can't do it anymore.
We went to school with a bro named Kelly, and this motherfucker could gleek from one end of the parking lot to the other.
Yeah, Beverly does it all the time. She can do it.
Used to beat the shit out of his girlfriend, too.
Damn. That was sad.
Yeah, man, that's on him, though. That's not me.
Yeah, I taught myself in high school, from drinking Mountain Dew. I would drink Mountain Dew, and it made it every single fucking time it happened, man.
Oh,
I'd be able to just go and nail you. Point blank range.
So gross.
Yeah, it's pretty stupid.
I don't think it's real spit, though. I think it's like when a girl squirts on you.
Like squirt, yeah.
It's not piss. Oh, I'm a squirter.
Just spit fresh from the source. Right from your mouth hole.
Speaking of squirting, what is sex trafficking?
Good segue.
Tell him, Rob. Fucking tell him, dude.
Oh, well, shit. You're asking me? Okay.
No, I wasn't asking. I was just like, all of a sudden I decided, hey, this looks like a good fucking spot for Rob Dog to read it because he's a strong reader and I'm not.
All right. Now, sex trafficking is when someone is made to perform commercial sex. That's a thing. I've never seen that commercial. On a broad scale, it's a criminal economic system that relies on exploitation to meet the demand for paid sex. While victims enter this system on various paths, sex trafficking is always characterized by force, fraud, or coercion, or victimizes a minor, regardless of other factors. Buyers and traffickers regularly target people who are vulnerable, searching for a better life, struggling with poverty, or living in an unsafe situation.
And in this episode, it's kind of hard to... human trafficking and sex trafficking, they kind of go hand in hand. While they're not the same, they are very much similar. Because there's so much overlap, it's easy to confuse the two. Human trafficking is an umbrella term that covers sex trafficking, as well as other forms of violation like forced agricultural labor, domestic servitude. Sex trafficking is human trafficking that specifically exploits people sexually for profit. When you hear about the sweatshops in China, you hear about stuff like that. A lot of forced slavery type situations in North Korea, I believe.
Yeah.
That's human trafficking. Under that umbrella is sex trafficking. While someone may not be forced to work 20 hours a day making knockoff football jerseys, they're being forced to have sex for profit. Now, these are some stats I got from Wikipedia in reference to sex trafficking. In 2012, the International Labor Organization reported 20.9 million people were subjected to forced labor, and 22%, 4.5 million were victims of forced sexual exploitation. The ILO reported in 2016 that of the estimated 25 million persons in forced labor, 5 million were victims of sexual exploitation. However, due to the covertness of sex trafficking, obtaining accurate, reliable data, it's just not there. And that's kind of one thing I thought about this is how would they even be able to compile the data or the statistics for something like this? Because I would have to imagine that a majority, not the minority, but the majority of these people, it's very much carried out underneath a veil that they're not able to be part of a statistic, unfortunately. The global commercial profits for sexual slavery are estimated to be around $99 billion.
Oh, God.
Holy shit, buddy.
That's with the B, billion.
Yeah. In 2005, the figure was given as $9 billion for the total of human trafficking, but now we're talking 99, the global commercial profits. Let's talk about the pimps for a second, or the men that kind of drive these situations. And I've told my pimp story before. You know, I was in the third, fourth grade, I think it was. Somebody said something about a pimp, and I said, "Yeah, man, that's a pimp." And I had no idea what I was saying.
Mm-hmm.
But there was one bad kid we went to school with named Ryan Barco. He knew everything. He was in foster care. He knew all the fucking bad shit. And I just ran up to him during lunch, and I got in his ear and said, "Ryan, what's a pimp?" And he just looked at me, had a lisp. He said, that's the king of the hose. And I said, okay. And I left. I left that conversation. I still had no fucking idea what I was talking about. But I knew the pimp was the king of the hose.
That's all you need to know at that age.
But think about that answer for a kid in the fourth grade. I think it was fourth grade, man. That kind of answer from a kid in the fourth grade.
King of the hose.
What's a pimp? It's the king of the hose. I so vividly remember asking him that.
It's such a like confident answer for like a fourth grader. Ah, it's the king of the hose.
Yeah, it's the king of the hose.
Oh,
You're
shit.
right, though, man.
I mean, yeah, in a way.
A 2017 analysis of 1,400 child sex traffickers arrested in the United States in the last decade found that 75% of traffickers were male and around 24.4% were female. The average age of male traffickers was 29 years old, and the average age of female traffickers was about 26 years old. Of those whose race was identified, 71.7% were African American, 20.5% were Caucasian, and 3.5% were Hispanic, with some of those being Pacific Islanders and of Asian descent. In pimp-controlled trafficking, the victim is controlled by a single trafficker, and I believe that's, when we talked to Haley in a little bit, that's kind of what she was dealing with. While he might have been part of a broader scheme, she was dealing with a one pimp situation.
Yeah.
The victim can be controlled by a trafficker physically, psychologically, and emotionally. To obtain control over their victims, traffickers will use force and drugs as well as emotional tactics. In certain circumstances, they will even resort to various forms of violence such as gang rape and mental and physical abuse. Traffickers sometimes use offers of marriage or modeling careers to obtain victims. Other times they use threats, intimidation, brainwashing, and kidnapping. Child grooming is commonly used. That's what all the Democratic and the Republican parties here in America, that's what they use to groom the kids that they're fucking at all these resorts and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Epstein Island, stuff like that. Bohemian Grove, Skull and Bones Society. What they do is they groom these children. They bring them these parties, and they bring these boys and these grown political figures, these men. They fuck these kids, and they do it in front of each other. So then they have dirt on one another. So then they can have all these super secret society meetings, these fucking Bohemian Grove, the cremation of care, the Illuminati, George Soros, all the shit, man, because they've all been watching each other eat these boys out, suck their dicks, and fuck each other. They're all fucking these kids, so they have dirt on each other, so that way they can break bread in these secret meetings, and they just, I can make these backdoor deals with each other because, you think this guy's going to run and tell on you? Well, he's not, because we saw him sucking a kid's dick the other night.
Shut the fuck up.
When I'm right, I'm right.
Yeah, I mean,
when I'm on, and when I'm right, Rob. I get so tired of these politicians raping kids. I know it's happening.
oh yeah.
You don't think it's happening, do you?
Oh no, I definitely do.
You.
All the elites putting the naughty in Illuminati.
Lizards.
Yeah.
They're all fucking lizards.
Yeah, they are.
And it fucking scares you, man, because the way social media is now, I heard kids getting trafficked off of Roblox and shit from the fucking...
Isn't that wild?
From the chat on Roblox. And kids getting, bad shit happening to them. And they meet... Think about it. You want nothing... if you're not a parent, it's kind of hard to understand, but you want nothing more than for your child to fit in and have friends and enjoy growing up.
Yeah.
And then when you see your kid not having friends, it makes you sad as a parent.
Yeah.
And then if your kid starts to confide in some internet friends, I guess then as a parent, you're just like, oh, yeah, finally, I'm fucking glad that he or she's finally talking to somebody.
Yeah.
And you just kind of roll with it. But in all actuality, you gotta pay attention to these things, because your kid could be talking to some guy, some seasoned working girl that's grooming them essentially for a meetup in a kidnapped situation, much like Haley went through that we talked to later on in the episode.
Yeah.
She just said, I've been talking to this guy and he made me feel like he had a place for me. And then next thing you know, you're waking up in the Brohio studios. You got you're chained to the wall. Me and Rob are sitting here eating fucking bean dip, Fritos.
A couple weeks ago, I sucked dick for some Robux. I'm not proud of it, but hey.
My kids will legit get $150 on their birthday.
Yeah.
And try and flip all of it into Robux. And I will not stand for it, dude. My daughter, one time, she had $180. She said, can I get all Robux for this? Absolutely not.
Fuck no. Jesus Christ. I'll let you do like 20.
Yeah, no. I that's what I said. I said, I'll let you do 10 or 20, or I said, I'll let you do 10 now. That's what I said. I said, you can do 10 now, and then you can do 10 in a little bit when you run out. As soon as she got the fucking first $10,
it was gone.
She literally just did a 360 right in front of me and said, all right, I'm ready for the next 10. I already spent that 10. What'd you buy? A house. Oh, okay. Well, I can get that. I can get that. The entire fucking house. I get that. It's a little pricey. Robux. Dude, when I got money for my birthday when I was a kid, we're going to KB Toys. Mm-hmm. We're going to Toys R Us. We're going to Meijer, Walmart. We're going toy shopping, dude.
For sure.
We're going to the hobby shop. I'm going to get a model that I'm never going to put together.
Dude, I love doing models back in the day.
Why don't we do them anymore?
I don't know, man. It's like an old guy thing now.
It is, but dude, I remember going to Meijer and they would have a
wall of
laid out model section.
Yeah,
yeah. And my dad used to do it a little bit. My brother did.
It was like a whole aisle.
And you paint them and stuff.
Yeah.
And I really started to think about getting to painting the miniatures for D&D and shit too. But I've met some every single person I've talked to in person about D&D, they really scare me.
Yeah.
I need to find normal people to D&D with. Though John Ellinger, I trust him, and I would do some stuff with him. But we got to find other people to do this together. Not trying to fall victim to a trafficking thing. I know that.
Yeah.
And that's one way to traffic me, is to invite me to like a Ghostbusters party or a D&D thing. Something cool. That would be one way to chlorophyll me and take me someplace.
To take your chlorophyll.
Yeah.
Make you photosynthesize.
Yeah, but you know, to go back where we were, you got to pay attention to your kids and the relationships they're engaging in online. Fucking go through their phones like a crazy boyfriend shit. I went to my daughter's recently deleted messages the other day.
Oh man,
her fucking heart sunk, buddy. She's like, "Oh, I didn't know that was there." She just fucking walked away. Oh, I didn't know about that.
Dude, I'm so scared to look at my oldest son's phone.
Dude,
I'm terrified.
Just do it.
No, I don't know if I can.
We should get drunk and do it just to laugh.
Oh man.
And after they kind of groom and abduct these kids essentially, and they're using a lot of social media, and they once they get them under their wing, they start to advertise them, the back pages. They advertise them on the social networks. But after the victim has joined the offender, various techniques are used to restrict the victim's access to communication with home, such as imposing physical punishment unless the victim complies with the trafficker's demands, and making threats of harm and even death. Victims may experience Stockholm syndrome, as captors often manipulate victims into believing they are in a romantic relationship with their captor. Fuck, man. It's just all just mental manipulation. There's one thing what they call Romeo pimps or lover boys.
What?
I'm a Romeo pimp. I'm not, actually. That's a pretty cool name. They're essentially people that just beat the pavement all day on social media. That's their thing, is they capture these girls' hearts on social media, sometimes boys as well.
Mm-hmm.
But they're just on social media putting up these facades, I'm in love with you. There's something here for you. I got a place for you to stay. I got a place for us to meet up. And that's what their day is. Their job is to manipulate and curate all of these relationships with these teenagers and these kids, essentially grooming them until they can get them in the position of capture. Sometimes these kids willingly show up. They don't even have to be fucking kidnapped. They just show up for something they don't think they're showing up for.
Wild, man.
And they kidnap them and force them into sex trafficking. There are more human slaves in the world today than ever before in the history of the world.
That's
Isn't that
crazy.
fucking wild, dude? Human traffickers often use a Sudanese phrase, quote, use a slave to catch a slave, and we'll call them seasoned girls, seasoned people that have been captured before, that have kind of, they've grown out of the phase of, okay, I'm in this, but I need to get out of it. And they essentially go into the phase of, this is my life now.
Yeah.
And once they get to that point where they're seasoned enough, then the pimps and whatnot can actually use them, like kind of by proxy, to groom other younger generations, to groom other people. An estimated 30,000 victims of sex trafficking die each year from abuse, disease, torture, and neglect. 80% of those sold into sexual slavery are under 24 years old, and some are as young as 6 years old. One convicted sex trafficker by the name of Ludwig Tarzan Feinberg. That's a scary fucking name right there, dude.
You never seen a fucking gangster ass motherfucker named Ludwig?
Street name's Tarzan, dude.
Tarzan.
That's a bad boy
Holy
right
shit.
there. He, in one interview, he said you can buy a woman for $10,000 and make your money back in a week if she is pretty and young. Then everything else from there is profit. So
Jesus.
A young, attractive female, a going rate is $10,000. We're not talking about a houseboat. We're not talking about a car. We're talking about buying a human teenage girl
A fucking person.
for $10,000.
Crazy.
It's disgusting, and it makes me sad. And this is just crazy. A lot of people, they say, what you could have one superpower. What would it be? Some people say, I wish I could fly. Some people say, I wish I could have X-ray vision so I could see the size of every guy's cock that walks by.
Fuck yeah, sign me up.
If that was a superpower you had, you just
I only want to be able to see naked men.
when men walk by, they just have like this translucent number on their forehead, and it's the size of their
2.
Yeah, it's the size of their erect dick.
3.6. That'd be kind of fucking cool, man.
You'd be like, Nick, there's no number on your head. And I'm like, I know. You want to know why? My superpower, wish I had, is I just wished I could show up for women and children and even guys that are in situations like this and just rescue them, just save them from this hell, man. We can usually make the most, find the humor and everything, but man, this is an episode where I really wanted to talk to her, but I knew there was going to be some sensitive topic, some sensitive stuff. But in the beginning of the episode, I am dropping in a disclaimer for anyone that needs to get help. There's a hotline.
Yeah, they'd have already heard it by now if they're listening. They
would, and hopefully, I hope that one person finds the daylight in the darkness from listening to this. I hope someone that's never listened to a podcast hops on and says, sex trafficking podcast. And our fucking dumb mugs come up and they click on it and they listen. And they're like, all right, these guys are funny, but they're trying to help me.
Mm-hmm.
And they take that lifeline and they run with it and they do get help. That's the one thing. And Tarzan, thanks for letting us know the going rate for a nice young girl. Because without your help, Ludwig, we would have not known.
Yeah, we've just been guessing.
Yeah. A human trafficker can oftentimes earn 20 times what he paid or she paid for a girl. Provided the girl was not physically brutalized to the point of ruining her beauty, the pimp could sell her again for a greater price. And I'm not talking about the money they make from flipping tricks.
Mm-hmm.
So when they take these girls and have them go on dates every night and they're taking these teenage girls and men are paying hundreds of dollars to have sex with them. They're making that money, okay? But then on top of that, they turn back around and they'll actually sell these girls to other pimps. And sometimes these girls can go for as much as $250,000 whenever they're selling them. Fuck, man.
Probably get like a bag of Cheetos for us.
For us, dude, yeah, a busted bag of Cheetos.
Yeah. One with a lot of air.
There's no way. I remember there used to be some cars on my dad's car lot, and I'd be like, how much for that one, Daddy? You're like, I'll fucking pay you to take that off my lot. That's what it would be like for us. How much for them big boys? Well, hell, it's on you if you want them out of here.
I got a lot of health problems.
One's got diabetes. Diabetes what? Diabetes titties. That's what I have, diabetes titties. I think I am feeling a lot better. Cut the sugar and shit out, man. I feel a lot better.
That's good.
Fucking carbs and sugar will make you feel like you're going to die.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Carbs are so fucking good, though, man.
Oh, dude, we had usually on the weekends I'll have a cheat meal, and last night I had spaghetti and meatballs.
Mm-hmm.
11 o'clock. Yeah, about 11 p.m. last night. I started to call and make reservations at the morgue because
I need to book a reservation. Sir, this is a morgue. For one, please.
Montgomery County Coroner's Office. This is Randall. How can I help you? Hi, I have a party of one. I'll be there in about 45 minutes. What do you mean you'll be here?
Oh, shit.
Oh, you'll pick me up?
Sir, I just ate some pasta, and I'm going to pass away.
Yeah. I believe it's going to cause me to pass away. That's how I fucking felt after eating that spaghetti, dog.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what my wife said, because we went to that haunted elementary, so I took my 10-year-old daughter and her friend out by ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
My wife said, "What'd you get to eat?" I said, "Spaghetti." She said, "You carb loading for a marathon?" I said, "No, I just wanted some spaghetti and meatballs." And then she's like, "You think you're gonna feel like shit?" And I said, "I'll be fine." 11 o'clock. I was doing that. Please, God, fucking take me.
Yeah.
If you can help me get through this night, I'll believe in you. I will serve you. I'll go. I actually was supposed to go to church this morning because I've said, if you let me live tonight, I'll go to church tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I have betrayed him already on our newfound relationship.
Luckily, he doesn't exist. You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, man. It's
sorry.
Last night I was talking to him though, so
yeah,
that motherfucker was there. It's perusing the webs on people that kind of women and their stories of getting caught up in sex trafficking. Aside from Haley, who we're going to talk to her here in about 15 minutes or so. This first story, the girl says, well, the question proposed was sex traffickers. What's your story? And this girl, she told her story. She said, I ran away from a group home when I was 15. I ended up homeless after I ran out of people I could live with. I got taken in by a guy who got me hooked on heroin. He did it intentionally. After a bit, he sprung the catch that it was expensive and I couldn't keep getting it from him for free. He wanted favors. The first time it was him, then it was his friends, which was whoever, it turned out to be whoever paid. He dropped the act quick, though, when he realized I was so checked out, I didn't even care that he was pimping me. I wasn't with him for very long, though. He got bought out by a large group, and they moved me to Montreal. It wasn't like I didn't think about it. I even left a few times before that. Well, after she tells this part of her story, they moved her to Montreal. Someone asked her a question, said, why didn't you just run away? And she said, it wasn't like I didn't think about it. I even left a few times before that. I came back, though. They make you really really think you'll never be able to live without them. And when you're dope sick, nothing else matters, not even knowing what will happen when you go back. When I finally left, I still thought I'd be dead without them. I just didn't care. I left in the middle of the night and just laid down in a snowbank and waited for it to be over. She was essentially just laying down to die. Someone found me after I passed out, probably a banger or a homeless man, because he didn't call the cops or anything, and he also stole my earrings.
Fuck. What a piece of shit.
That's a nasty thing to steal off somebody.
Yeah.
He dropped me on the front step of a house and knocked on the door until someone opened it, and apparently they just turned and left without even saying anything. They were good people, though. They got me on the methadone, and I got a lot better after that. The stolen earrings thing, that takes me back to, I believe it was MTV Cribs.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Cribs. They had a guy, they had Tommy Lee on there.
Yeah.
And they had a guy that was a big Tommy Lee fan essentially going through his house with him. It might not have been Cribs. But Tommy Lee, towards the end of it, he's like, man, thanks for doing this. And as a gift from me to you, I want to give you like my belly button piercing. I think it was his belly button. And that guy was like, okay. But Tommy Lee's like, we got to boil it first, though, because I got hepatitis in.
Oh, son of a bitch.
So they sat there and boiled his belly button ring and just talked shop, dude. Just, how'd you like playing in Metallica? Tommy Lee's like, yeah, Metallica, man.
He just gave him an autograph.
Just fucking strung it, yeah. Could have signed a t-shirt, maybe got him a foam finger or something like that.
Yeah, something cool.
I'm going to give you my belly button ring, but we got to boil it first so it doesn't kill you. You had fucking hepatitis.
Man.
Oh, dude, that's fucking, I don't know. But God love him. He could drive a fucking boat with his dick.
Yeah.
That's a huge cock.
He's got a baby arm for a dick.
Huge cock. He posted a picture of his dick recently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a couple months ago.
Well, yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Still a huge dick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huge cock.
I'm still scared of it.
And then he did that little thing a few nights later after the dick pic got out. He was on stage at his concert and he said,
oh, yeah.
You guys want to see my wiener? And he had a fucking entire
dog in his pants.
Yeah, entire dog in his Adidas pants.
Yeah. That wiener has been in some top tier poon, man.
Pam Anderson, 95.
Yep. Heather Locklear, was in that. He fucked the 90s, dude.
What a guy.
I know.
He's a sex trafficker. He has been trafficked. He has seen a lot of sex. This other story, it says she got hooked up with her mom's husband. So I guess it'd be like her stepdad. Her stepdad said, "I'll fix your papers." Turns out it was like a visa related thing,
okay,
residency thing.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out he's in a gang with a lawyer. I mean, that's how you know.
Oh shit.
How you know it's a fucking badass criminal enterprise that they got lawyers and shit.
Yeah, that's wild.
A gang with a lawyer. I was fixed a provisional temporal residency. Then anytime the lawyer or the husband needed money, they'd threaten with taking the temporary green card. The husband would break into the house and instigate threats and violent behaviors. They don't break into a house. They simply have a system down to a science of abuse. If you marry an immigrant woman and break into her house and attack the children or the dependents, you're suddenly, quote, not committing felony breaking and entering, nor are you committing assault on the kids. Because you're married to the mom, it is now domestic violence. And with a lawyer in that scam, they call that a loophole.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck Jesus, dude.
Shit.
That is some dark work right there.
Yeah.
Think about that. Especially vile and prevalent against children and disabled individuals under 26 Why under 26? Because you can claim kids as dependents up until 26 years old, and so claim the tax and other benefits, SNAP, stamps, food stamps, tax deduction, and all the additional monies you get. Anyways, once you're paid enough for the 26th birthday rolls by, you can cripple the kids with strangulation and then have the lawyer loophole them out of the temporary green card.
Oof.
Injured kids go back to Mexico to die and can't come back to press charges. Rinse and repeat every 2 to 5 years.
Jeez.
Oh my fucking God.
Wow.
There's a lot. I'd like to dig in. I don't know what that process is called, but I'd love to learn more about that. That seems fascinating. I love intricate criminal activity.
Yeah.
That seems exactly what that is.
Especially that, man. You fucking work for an organization that has their own lawyers. Like, that's fucking wild. They're just finding you certain loopholes for them to be able to get more and do more.
Wild, man.
Ugh.
And some things that you can pay attention to if someone you perhaps suspect is being human or sexually trafficked, if they're living with their employer, these are just little things that you might notice. Poor living conditions, multiple people in cramped spaces, inability to speak to individuals alone. Their answers appear to be scripted and rehearsed. Their employer is holding identity documents. The signs of physical abuse, submissive, or they're going to be submissive or fearful, unpaid or paid very little. And then also, if you notice that they're under the age of 18, they're dealing in prostitution, that's a good likelihood that they're being trafficked against their will. And some questions that you can, if you have someone, a loved one or someone close to you, that you can ask them to maybe kind of find out more about their situation. You can ask them, can you leave your job if you want to? Can you come and go as you please? Have you been hurt or threatened if you tried to leave? Has your family been threatened? Do you live with your employer? Where do you eat and sleep? I know these sound like really mundane things, but someone in a situation like that isn't necessarily, even when we were talking to Haley, she said, I didn't eat. Like, I didn't know where my food was coming from. I didn't know where I was staying at from day to day. It just, none of it was right. And you can ask someone these questions, and their faces are going to tell the tale, but ultimately they're not going to have the answers to these questions unless they're kind of rehearsed and scripted. You can ask, are you in debt to your employer? While you may feel that way, that shouldn't be the case. Do you have your passport or identification, and who has it? Those are just some of the things that you can ask to, I hope that there's no victims of sexual trafficking that are listening to this episode. But ultimately, if they are, I hope that they find help. If that's you that's listening, you can send us an email, brohiopodcast@gmail.com. We'd love to help you and extend a helping hand or get you to the resources you need. And look, nobody deserves to be in this situation. We make a lot of fun of a lot of stuff. This shit's fucking heartbreaking.
It really is.
To think about you and I, we wake up every day and we make a choice. Go to work, stay home, breakfast, skip breakfast. Do I want to fill up my water bottle? Which bathroom do I want to go to? There's people out there that don't have a choice, man. They just wake up and they're abused. They're put in situations that's just like not something that they would ever want to be a part of.
Yeah.
And it breaks my heart that kids are affected by this. I don't know what the exact numbers are. And the hard thing for you and I here in rural, I guess, suburbia Dayton, Ohio, stuff is going on, man. Just because we don't see it doesn't mean it's not going on. We live close to Miller Lane at the interstate section of I-70 and I-75. It's said to be a huge human trafficking corridor through there. There's some hotels down the road, and I know it's going on. I know it's going down. They bust them up all the time. It just makes you, and even a lot of parents and stuff have claimed they've been walking through Walmart and some of the stores around here, and they'll have certain ethnicity groups, certain what look to be gang-affiliated individuals that just keep an eye on their kids when they're walking around watching your kids, waiting for you to take a step away from them, watching your patterns and how you act with your kids in the parking lot, because these guys are fucking preying on you and your families. So that's my word of advice to you is always
be aware of your surroundings and your kids and yourself, and just keep yourself safe.
And if you, I always keep it, if you're here on the YouTube stream, I always keep a kitchen knife with me. That's the safest thing you can do. Just like a good old fashioned, what brand is this? Stainless China is the brand here.
Great brand.
Chef Mate.
Terrific. Real good for stabbing.
I keep one of these motherfucking 6-inchers on me.
Yeah, it's serrated a little. Oh, shit.
You know why this knife is down here?
No.
I was using it to cut drywall.
Fuck yeah.
Steak knife doubles as a great drywall knife.
There you go. Hacks from the pro. Bob Vila over here.
Hanging windows by the middle of the week, dude. Stick around for the interview. Haley is genuinely one of the coolest, nicest people we've ever had the opportunity to talk to. We've talked to a lot of cool people on this show. As for us, it's Sunday night. Hopefully we can release this tonight. I don't know. I might be able to get to bed at a good hour and just do this tomorrow.
There you go.
Ooh, we got beef jerky out there, too.
Fuck yeah, we do.
Wait till you try this jerky, dog.
Oh, I cannot wait for you to jerk me.
It's going to light you up a little bit.
I'm fine with that.
All right.
Hope it hurts my butt.
It's sweet, spicy. This is world famous. All right, guys. Well, enjoy the interview, and we'll catch you later on in the week. Maybe some other, maybe next week. Maybe never again.
We don't know.
We don't know. Well, we got to stick around for the cruise.
Yeah, that's true. But I do know that.
Oh,
go ahead.
For the cruise.
Yeah.
It's fucking discombobulated and broken.
Okay.
But a majority of the details for the cruise, you can go to brohiopodcast.com/cruise.
Oh.
And a lot of the deets are in there. Let's see if I can bring it up right here.
Okay. Yeah, let's take a look.
brohiopodcast.com/cruise.
Oh my God.
Takes you right there to our fucking page. September 16th, 2024. All the landing spots, and then it tells you who to call to book it, how much it cost.
Yeah, it's a whole breakdown right there for you.
brohiopodcast.com/cruise.
And there is a secret link on that page too where you can see our assholes. So everybody go to it.
Start clicking on everything, see what works for you. Shit,
all right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you guys. Love you.
I'm right there with you guys. I know quitting a bad habit can seem like it is absolutely impossible. It's insufferable, but our friends at Fume are here to help you. They've already helped me, but let them help you as well. And that's one big misconception. Not everything in a bad habit is wrong. So instead of a drastic, uncomfortable change, why not just remove the bad from the habit? With Fume, instead of electronics, Fume is completely natural, and instead of vapor, Fume uses flavored air, and instead of harmful chemicals, Fume uses all natural, delicious flavors. And unlike your bad habits, Fume is good, so you're actually replacing a bad habit with something good, and it makes quitting that bad habit that much easier. And if you're someone that likes to fidget with your hands, they got you covered there too. It's got kind of twists and turns, it's got a dial to it. It feels good to fidget with it, so not only you get the sensation of everything that comes with Fume, but you kind of get like that physical satisfaction of twiddling things with your fingers. The taste is great. They have lots of great flavors that I've tried. The mint, the maple pepper, and the white cranberry. Specifically, I've been on the mint this past week, and I can't speak to that. That's been wonderful. And the Fume device is absolutely beautiful. It's constructed of beautiful real wood. It feels great in your hand. It's perfectly balanced. And it looks good, so it's not going to feel like you're some kind of crazy person or an outcast carrying this thing around. It looks like it belongs in your hand. And Fume doesn't really make any of these claims or say anything about this, but with me, I've got a sweet tooth. I'm always kind of wanting to dig into candy and chocolate, all kinds of stuff anytime I get bored. But with the Fume and the mint this week, I've kind of been supplementing those cravings. I've just been playing with the Fume, using the Fume like it's supposed to be used, and it's kind of curved my cravings. It's not food, and they don't claim it to be anything like that. But I'm just saying, from my personal experience, it's really helped out with that. And I've been talking to you guys a lot. I've been on a weight loss journey, and this thing is it's kind of out of the norm for that. And I'm not claiming that that's going to work for you, but it's working for me. And I'm seeing a lot of success with it. Stopping is something we all put off because it's so hard, but switching to Fume is easy, enjoyable, and even fun. Fume has served over 100,000 customers and has thousands of success stories, as there's no reason that can't be you. Join Fume in accelerating humanity's breakup from destructive habits by picking up the Journey Pack today. Head to tryfume.com and enter our code Brohio to save 10% off when you get the Journey Pack today. That's tryfume.com and use our promo code Brohio to save an additional 10% off your order today. Head to tryfume.com/Brohio to save an additional 10% off today. All right, we're here with our lady of the hour, the lady of the Brohio lady of the night, of the day, or the afternoon, whenever you're listening to this.
Whatever time of day.
This is our friend Haley. Haley, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Of course.
Yeah, and we've been chatting Haley up a little bit. She's a free spirit. She's fun. She's ready to talk. She's kind of. Are you about to sneeze?
It went away.
That's disgusting, dude. I
am so pissed that did not come through.
Dude, I get mad when I lose a sneeze.
Man, I haven't had that happen in so long.
It's like your dad walking in on you when you're jacking off.
I just want to get it back now.
Sorry,
nope.
Haley, we got sidetracked there for a second.
Sorry. That's all on me.
Well, and that's one thing I do like to remind everyone, that if this is the first time you're listening to us perform an interview, we do treat our guests with the utmost respect. While we are disrespectful, rude, and crude on most of our episodes, we treat our guests with sympathy and with the utmost respect. You have nothing to worry about, Haley. You're in good hands. We're going to take good care of you. You have a triumphant story with a lot of bad, but ultimately it ends on a good note. So this is a really sensitive subject and a sensitive topic. So I do, first of all, want to say thank you for coming on the show to do this interview.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you guys for having me again. I really appreciate it.
Hell yeah. And I'm glad we were able to hook up. I think we've been trying to talk for like 6 months, and I don't know. I'm flakier than a snowflake, and I just can't.
We don't ever remember what we're gonna do and what we're gonna talk about. So it's stuff we just forget. We're old,
but we're here now, and that's all that matters.
Yep.
Yeah. Now you sent us an email, kind of taking us through your situation. Our topic this week is sex trafficking, human trafficking, and you wrote us, and your first email you wrote us said, "I was kidnapped and sex trafficked in Los Angeles. Let me know if you ever want to hear that story." And
yeah, you just head right off with that, and it's like, well, fucking hook, line, and sinker right there. Like,
I wrote back,
yes, I want to hear it.
yes. And she gave us the
right to the point.
Yep. Yeah. She gave us the TLDR. I said, absolutely, we'd love to have you on the show. Now, I'm not going to say how old you are, but you're in your early 20s. You're still relatively free from this situation. And and you can ask Haley, the first thing I said whenever we started talking, are you comfortable talking about this? And are you free and clear of all this stuff? She said, no qualms. No, this stuff is gone. It's behind me. It's a completely different life. So, I do feel when we did the targeted individuals episode, that guy was still going through some shit.
Yeah, he was.
Haley, I do not feel like is still going through that shit.
Sure. Yeah.
So I'm not one to exploit people, anything like that.
It's good that you got to the light at the end of the tunnel.
Or did she, man? We don't know. There's a story to tell here. We don't know. She could be being held hostage right now as we speak.
Being forced to make this interview with us.
I'm not, I promise.
All right, well, take us back to you said you grew up with your grandparents, and you started to dabble in drugs a little bit at 13 and 14. Now, I know in Ohio, that's a rite of passage to start smoking pot at 13 years old. I'm not certain that your journey I'm sure your journey did start with pot because it's the gateway drug, right? So take us through that 13 to 14-year-old stage whenever all this stuff started to happen to you, Haley?
Yeah, so around that time, I was kind of struggling with like my identity and struggling with like the fact that my parents weren't in my life and my grandparents were the ones who were raising me. So I ended up falling in with this not so great crowd, and we all kind of started with weed at first, and then it escalated to pills. That was like the common thing around my area. So it was like hydrocodone, Vicodin, Xanax, stuff like that. And I was kind of the one with the addictive personality that ended up getting hooked on everything, while everybody kind of was like, oh, I'm just going to do one here and there for parties and stuff. So ended up falling out with most of those friends because I became the addict of the group, while everyone else was just social about it.
How are you paying for this addiction at 13 or 14 years old? I barely had, I was still farting and shitting on myself when I was 13 years old. So
So it started off with just like hanging around people that were like, oh, here, you want to try this?
hell yeah.
And then it escalated to stealing, and I sold like drugs for a little bit. I helped out some of the people that I bought from.
Okay.
And yeah, it was just that and stealing, essentially.
Okay. And you have nothing to be ashamed of here. I can tell you 100 wholeheartedly, we think the world of you, and without going to the fast forward to the end of the story, we are so proud of you for finding your way out of that, and we're humbled that you're giving this the opportunity to be on our show. So don't be ashamed of anything. Just let it rip. If you fucking killed some kids, don't tell us that, because that's kind of incriminating. But
I didn't.
Just tell us when we're not recording.
you have nothing to be ashamed of, and everybody that's listening to this show has stolen at some one time or another. We were in Tennessee a couple years ago, and I got an ornament personalized for my mom.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to go check out, and the guy's like, "This isn't the checkout. The checkout's over there." The checkout line was around the fucking building 4 times. I said, "I'm not waiting in that line." So it had my mom's name on it, so I just left with the ornament, and I did that in front of my kids, and I'm not proud of it, but that's that's what it is. People steal.
You're gonna burn in hell, man.
I am gonna burn in hell. But back to Haley's story here. I kind of got ahead of myself there. You said you kind of mixed in with a bad crowd, but what kind of the next step in your journey? You left your grandparents, and I'm not gonna tell your story for you. But was that next after you kind of started to deal with addiction, as you became too much for your grandparents?
Yeah, so I ended up being put in juvenile hall for some dumb stuff that I did when I was high, and my grandparents kind of just were like, we can't do anything to help her. Like, we just can't give her everything that she needs to get the help. So they thought that maybe a group home would be good for me. So after I spent a little bit of time in juvenile hall, they ended up putting me in a group home. So I was like with a bunch of different foster girls, and then like girls who were coming from probation, the juvenile system as well.
And I've heard much like the same as jail or prison, a group home is kind of, some people feel like they're doing good by sending their children to a group home, but really you're surrounding them with people that do things equally as bad and as worse. It's almost like a university, like a criminal university. And you is that kind of what your experience was, Haley?
Yes, 100%. It's definitely it's a little criminal university for sure. I definitely was introduced to a lot of things I had no idea about from being in group homes. And a lot of parents do think that they're doing what's best for their kids by sending them to group homes, but they're not. And it's not the parents' fault. They do make it out to look very good, but as we've seen in the past couple of years, there's a lot of places that are being exposed for having kids die, for having staff molesting kids, like just all this crazy stuff, beating kids. Yeah, crazy stuff.
Was that seemed to be pretty common? Kind of. Were were you mostly in a group home, or were you kind of passed around to foster homes, or what was your situation like?
So I was in and out of group homes and juvenile hall for pretty much from 14 to 18. The last little year, from 17 to 18, I spent it in a camp like situation, sort of, but it was a camp for the more mentally disturbed cases because I didn't want to go to the actual camps, which were way worse.
Yeah.
It was kind of like basically a mental asylum for criminally insane people versus being in prison type of thing.
But it was for kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
Another, I've told you, Rob, I'm really good at reading people and kind of picking up on things. I can tell that Haley is a really good fighter. I can tell that she could probably. You can fight, can't you, Haley?
Yeah.
You probably have to. That's probably one of the things you have to adapt or die. It's one of those things, you know what I mean?
Did you have to fight a lot in the group home?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I wasn't a fighter before the group homes. Like, that wasn't my thing. Like, everyone just kind of hung out and did drugs. There wasn't a lot of fighting at the school I went to. And man, did I have to learn quickly. I had to learn because my grandparents didn't teach me how to fight. Like, I never really grew up around that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And those girls, they play different. A lot of them come from like gangs and stuff like that. Like their families are gang members. So they learn how to fight like men, straight up men.
There's killers in there. And I hope that, I hope you never have to see that side of yourself ever again. I really, we're going to say 1,000 times, but we're proud of you for the progress you made, and you're doing good. And we're happy to sit here with you and see you smile. And I know that it's been a long journey, but you're here with us. And we're gonna tell your story. You're gonna tell your story, and we're gonna take good care of you. So, what did you spend any time? I know you said you're in between. We call it juvie around here, but and the group home. Did you get in with any foster families at all?
I wasn't in any foster families at that time. I was before I got to my grandparents. So before my grandparents adopted me, I was, but in that period of time where the sex trafficking happened, no.
Okay. Are you comfortable talking about, even before this, kind of what happened with your biological parents? Or if you don't want to talk about that, that's fine as well.
Oh yeah, I don't mind. I'm pretty open about my life story.
Okay. You should write a book.
I'm thinking about it. I really would like to someday.
Yeah, it's empowering. You should. You really should. So were your biological parents, were they kind of right out of the picture from the get-go, or how did that work out?
So they had me up until I was 3, and then my mom lost custody because up until I was 3, she was using meth, and so was my dad. And my dad ended up getting arrested and put in prison when I was like 2.5. And then my mom just couldn't put up the facade that she was taking care of her children anymore. So DCFS came and took us.
You talk to either of them to this day?
Nope. They're both dead to me.
Fuck them.
How many siblings did you have?
So I have 3 total. 2 are half, and one of them is my full sister. And my full sister, I super close with. We like grew up together. She was adopted with me when my grandparents took us in, and yeah, we've been really close our whole lives.
Cool. Well, that's good. Yeah, that's tough, man. You kind of got a shitty end of the stick from the very beginning, Haley. I mean, it really makes kind of, Rob didn't have an ideal situation, but it makes me grateful for how everything worked out for me. And just, it sucks. It sucks. You can't pick your parents, and you can't pick your we kind of talked about our DNA earlier, Haley, and it makes it tough, man. That's why I just always do good for my kids. I always try and do the best I can for my kids, because people remember their childhood. In the moment, it may seem like one thing, but people fucking remember their childhood and how fucked up it is, and it really does it does a number towards shaping someone, whether they realize it or not.
Oh, definitely. It shapes your entire life.
Yeah.
Your entire life is based off your childhood.
How old were you when you found out like what happened with your biological parents? Like, when you were able to understand exactly what it was.
I kind of knew from the beginning, like in the situation, because I mean, I have like vivid memories from when I was like 2 or 3 years old of some of the like traumatic events my mom would put me through. Shoot, she tried to get me to cook meth at 3 years old. That
Oh
woman
my
was
gosh.
crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Wow.
So, I kind of knew as soon as I got adopted, like my grandparents were very open to telling us and anything that we wanted to know, any
Okay.
questions that we had. They were very open and very loving and caring. So, I knew pretty early.
Okay. And while you were in the group home, you started to develop a relationship with a male, a man, a boy on Instagram, and that relationship seemed to, he became someone that you relied on. You kind of maybe sought a little bit of comfort with him or in him. What was how did you meet this guy on Instagram, and how did that relationship start up?
So it started like most of like my friendships at the time did, or like the guys I would talk to at the time, where it's just kind of like they followed you, had mutual followers, mutual friends type of thing.
Yeah.
And then you start DMing each other or private messaging or whatever and start talking. And then he claimed to have such a similar life and such similar traumas that him and his brother went through and his family, and I don't know, I trauma bonded with him, I guess.
Okay. And when you were kind of going through his profile and stuff, did it seem suspicious at all? Did it seem like he was who he was, or did you kind of see some holes there? Kind of explain that.
Honestly, looking back, even as an adult, I don't see any holes that were in his profile. I just wasn't smart enough at the time to realize, like, oh, I should probably talk to this person on the phone first.
Yeah.
I should probably video chat them. But the profile seemed legit.
Okay. And were you like 15, 16, 17 at this point, or how old were you?
I was 15 at this point.
Okay. And and like I said, Rob, man, I bet she can fight. And there was a big fight at the group home that caused you to essentially run away from the group home. And really the only, I guess, aside from your grandparents, the only other person you had was this guy that you've been talking to on Instagram. So when you fled the group home, which I didn't know you could just run away from the group home.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Pretty impressive right there in itself. You got out of that fucker, but you fled the group home, and the person that you reached out to kind of as a lifeline was this guy. Am I understand that correctly?
Yeah, pretty much. While we were talking, he kept offering, before I had left the group home, he was like, oh, if you ever want to AWOL, that's what they would call it, leaving placement. He's like, if you ever want to AWOL and you need somewhere to go and you don't have anywhere to go, you could come live with me. So I was like, this is like, I knew from the beginning that was like a terrible idea, and I never really planned to go through it, but it was a fight that had happened, and my probation officer was telling me that I was going to get locked back up for some nonsense. And she just kind of said like something that was really mean and hateful about like taking medication. She's like, you need to take your pretty little pill to be that pretty little girl to stop messing up. And I don't know, like that. And then the fight that happened, it all kind of just, I was like, this is enough. I need to leave. I don't care where I go. I can't be here anymore.
And that tells you so much about the system, that people like that are the ones that are in charge of helping youth get into the right mental state that they need to be in to recover from all the trauma that's unfolded in their life. These are the people being tasked with helping you guys feel better, that say things like that do things like that. So there should be also with this episode, I think there should be a lot of people that really put a magnifying glass on that system, I guess. And, really it puts it into perspective. They're not really helping you. All it is essentially these people are just trying to keep you from fucking killing people and to keep you alive yourself is essentially all it boils down to.
Oh, and there's a lot of money in it too, especially the juvenile system. I remember one of the staff at the juvenile halls she was really nice. She genuinely had like a big heart for us and wanted to help the youth and stuff like that. She had told us that each one of us, just based off of like the uniform that we had to wear, was worth like $400. And that was just that, not including like all the other stuff that comes into it, like the meals, the beds, like all that crazy stuff. So it's a big money thing as well.
Yeah. Wow. It's fucking America, baby. Now so you busted out of there. You I guess you're messaging back and forth with him. You say, "Hey, I'm AWOL. I'm out of here, and I want to come meet with you." And that did not go as planned. Go ahead and take us step by step through how that unfolded, because this was the beginning of the nightmare right here, and all of this. And some of you listeners saying, "Well, she's already living a fucking nightmare at this point." No, the nightmare started when she ran away and she went to go meet up with this gentleman. Take us through that, how that all transpired right there.
Yeah, so let's see. I had left the group home. We were like texting back and forth. There is a train station, maybe like half of a mile away, where he was like, "Let's meet there. Like, I'll pick you up. I just don't want to get like caught or anything like that. I don't want them to see my license plate or my car or whatever." So I walk to the train station. He tells me it's like a red color car and what type of car to look out for and everything. So I'm like looking around the parking lot of this train station. And mind you, it's pretty late at night. I want to say maybe like around 10 or 11. And I'm like looking around, and I swear to God, straight up, I don't believe in God necessarily, but I swear to whatever.
Swear to him all you want.
I swear to whoever or whatever that it happened like straight up out of a movie where a car pulls up next to me, nothing like what was described, and someone in the passenger side like comes up behind me and puts like a towel over my mouth, and I wake up in hours later, a day later, I don't even know how long later it was, in some random room with some random people and some random teenager touching me, like touching my private areas.
Yeah.
And that's what I woke up to, just out of nowhere, like completely it was crazy.
From the train station, the last thing you remember is just kind of swirling in circles looking for this car. Yeah. And then the next thing you know, you wake up and you're being sexually assaulted.
Yeah, pretty much.
Holy shit. Now, were you just like, you were still just texting with this guy? You hadn't even talked to him yet, and how old did you think he was?
My age. He said he was, I want to say 17, so just a couple years older than me.
And really,
we had talked on the phone once, but not FaceTimed or anything that's proof that he was who he said he was.
But essentially he was grooming you to put you in that exact position where they could kidnap you. You were kidnapped.
Yeah, definitely. He knew what he was doing.
Did you ever meet this guy? You don't know.
I never met the guy that was in the pictures. I met somebody else who I think was behind the account, but I'm not 100% sure if it was him. We never really talked about that or got a chance to talk about it.
Sorry if I missed this, but do you know do you know how he originally, I know you said he contacted you on Instagram, but do you know how he ended up finding you in the first place?
I have no idea, but part of me kind of thinks that it may have been one of the other girls in the group home.
Okay.
So a common thing in the group home, kind of like going back to talking about how it's basically college, like you're going and learning things that you never knew anything about. A common thing was sex trafficking.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of girls who were groomed and didn't realize they were groomed, and thought that they were living this great life and would try to convince other girls to be in it. And I had one girl that would kind of talk to me about that stuff and try to get me to do it with her, but I never wanted to. So part of me thinks now it might have been her pimp that got in contact with me. I'm not really sure.
Okay.
Now you wake up in this house. Was it an apartment? Was it a house? Was it a trailer? Was it a warehouse? Do you know what it was?
It was apartments.
Okay.
It was apartments. And it seems like it was just like somebody's auntie and uncle's house or apartment. Like it didn't,
Yeah.
I don't know. It wasn't
like a fucking flop house for teenagers, essentially.
pretty much. Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
And were there a lot of people there? Or, I guess you're probably still kind of groggy at this point whenever you first woke up, but did it seem like you were just there with one guy, or was there a lot of people there?
So, it was the guy who was assaulting me, another guy like next to me in that same bed, and then two other people conversating in another room.
Now, when you asked, like, hey, where the fuck am I at? What is going on? Did anybody tell you at any point what you were doing or where you were at?
Now this is the part that might seem kind of crazy, but I never really asked. I was kind of just in shock, and I didn't like. In my head, I'm just like, oh, I messed up. Like, what do I do? Like, I kind of froze up in the situation. Like, I didn't ask any questions. I kind of knew what it was. Like, I knew I had messed up. I knew I had been taken and kidnapped by somebody. I didn't know what it was going to lead to. I just, I kind of knew I had messed up.
Haley,
so
it fucking breaks my heart that like you were in such a bad situation, and the situation you woke up in, you were so accustomed to awfulness, to just despair and a shitty living situation. You said, "Oh fuck, this is what it is." You know, this is life, and it makes me sad, and I'm so happy you're here with us, Haley, and I'm happy that I'm glad you found the hopefully before we get to the end of the story, I hope you found the other side. I don't want to spoil it. And I guess from there you start spending your time. Do they kind of give you immediate access to drugs, or did you say, hey, like I'm trying to fucking score some shit, or how did that start?
So he kind of would give me things here and there. The guy who ended up like being the one to make me do all the stuff that I ended up having to do. And it was more so to just kind of shut me up and to get me to do it. Cause I froze up and I wouldn't do anything. Like I was the worst person to kidnap and put in that situation. Cause I would get into cars with the like tricks, I guess you could call them. And I would literally say, like, I'm a minor. I don't want to do this. I'm afraid. And they would tell me to just get out. Or I would just sit there and be like, I don't want to do this. Like, and they would just tell me to get out of their car. So I'd come back like time after time with no money.
With no money. And when you say a trick, that's pretty much the same as that's like going car to car, doing your thing every night. That's called turn a trick. I guess in some parts of the country, that a John would be the guy that's attempting to purchase the services. And I think trying to stick to this email you sent us to kind of lay everything out. Not long at
let me ask real quick. So from the time that you woke up on initially when you first arrived there, about how long was it before they had you running the in the game, I should say?
It was pretty much that night.
Oh, shit.
After I woke up to being assaulted, they took pictures of me and put them on Backpage. So I kind of think it was an inexperienced pimp who didn't really know what he was doing, because he had taken pictures of me and was trying to figure out like how to put them on Backpage, but I guess you needed like Bitcoin or something along those lines. So he couldn't figure that out and ended up just like, oh, I'm just going to have her walk the streets. But it was that same night that
Holy
it started.
Shit.
That fucking night. Yeah. Now I've read a lot of kind of going through these I shouldn't say horror stories, but I've read through these fucking stories of how it the pimps, they prefer not just like fresh. They don't prefer to I guess get these girls themselves. They prefer to have like a seasoned girl get the girl that they'll be using. So it's kind of hard for a pimp just to pick out a random girl off the street, whereas some of their more well-seasoned, we call them prostitutes or girls, some of their more well-seasoned girls, they count on them to essentially prey upon girls like Haley and find girls they think they fit a certain mold. And to even go back to that one girl you talked about in the group home that you said that was trying to get you to.
That's what I was going to say. That MO kind of fits with.
Yeah. That's such a. And in my mind, I got a daughter that's almost that age to think about. There's girls out there that age going through that. It breaks my heart. It crushes me. But I thought there would be some type of warm-up period where they would try and get you strung out on dope, get you fucking dope sick.
I figured it'd be like a week or so. So did they just pretty much just say like, you're going to do this or we're going to kill you type thing?
Yeah, exactly that. There's a few different types of pimps and a few different methods that they have. There definitely is the get you strung out on dope. There's the ones who will straight up beat the shit out of you and say, go make money for me or I'm going to kill you tonight. And that's basically the type of, I believe the name for it is a gorilla pimp. And that's the type of pimp that I was dealing with, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So he roughed me up and was like, go make money or, I'm going to kill you.
Now that first, do you remember the first night? Is the first night that he sent you out? It's kind of all a blur, maybe.
It's kind of a blur. All of that is a blur. I think it's the first night, but all of the nights kind of just are one big blur.
Yeah. Well, we'll jump back into the questions here.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like to come back from? Did he just send you out? I think in the email he said he would follow you in some instances while you were trying to turn tricks, and sometimes he would just send you out. But what were you making money or turning tricks whenever he was following you? I know you kind of said in the email that he would send you off by yourself and you just quit fucking bringing money back. But whenever when he was watching over you and following you, was he profiting off of you in that situation?
Yeah, I didn't really have a choice when he would follow me. It was kind of like the Johns or Tricks knew what it was, because usually you could tell a prostitute by a pimp walking a certain amount of distance behind them.
Yeah.
And they knew never to go very far or anything like that. So he would tell me a specific location to go to with the person. And it would be like right around the area, like a park or something, to where they could park and then, do the business.
Yeah. And how, I guess I got so many questions and I feel bad picking at this wound. I feel like I'm digging in a lot of bad stuff that's traumatic for you to kind of reflect upon. So if you do need to take a break or something you don't want to talk about, just tell us. I think that first of all, it fucking sucks that they groomed you and essentially there was no bucket of gold at the end of the rainbow. The plan the entire time was for them to prey upon you and to essentially put you in this situation. But were there other girls around you that were doing this as well that you that you got to, I guess, conversate with or talk to, or were you just kind of out there by yourself?
Unfortunately, I was out there by myself, aside from the one or two other women that would be out there. But the ones that I came in contact with were gone off of drugs beyond conversation. they were so high and so strung out on whatever their pimps had got them on that
Yeah.
they just knew to get in the car and have sex with men, and that's it.
And how?
So it was really lonely.
Yeah, and you would go work, and then you would go back to this same flop apartment every night where you first woke up, and
For the first couple days, yeah. Then he started getting us hotels. So we
Okay.
would walk. He had no car, so we would just walk like miles and miles and miles. And this entire time, he didn't feed me, but once. And the only time that I ate was because I was walking back to the hotel, and somebody was like dropping off somebody's DoorDash, like as as I was walking up to the hotel, and they're
Fuck
like,
yeah.
"Is this for you?" And I was like, "Yeah,
Fuck yeah, it is."
it is, sure."
Oh my-
So I feel so bad for that person, but had to do what I had to do.
Yeah, let's
so
be honest.
hopefully they got their money back.
Yeah, you needed it more than that person did
Definitely
at
did.
that point for sure.
And I don't.
Yeah.
And through my infinite travels, I've met pimps, I've met prostitutes, I've met drug dealers, I've met murderers, and you can tell a lot. I mean, there's always certain things about people that I would pick up on, but talking to you, Haley, you really seem like someone that was legitimately just fucking thrust into something that you wanted nothing to do with. That was not who you are. It was not your lifestyle. There's some women you meet, and you're like, yeah, she's probably a crackhead or something like that. But, you definitely don't get that vibe from you. But they did, you did have you spoke about it. You did have you were fighting addiction whenever you showed up on the doorstep of this place, and I think they did your addiction progress at all? Did they introduce you to heroin, or did you just stick to the pills that you were on? How did your addiction progress once you started? Once you kind of were being trafficked, essentially.
So some of the stuff he gave me, I have no idea what it was. I know when I got in juvenile hall and when all this comes to an end, I was coming down and having withdrawals from whatever he had me on, and I never really got the toxicology or whatever that they had taken at the juvenile hall, because it's like all these legal things that they can't release stuff like that to the minor or something like that. So I'm not sure what I was on, but I was definitely on something that had me going through withdrawals.
Okay. You how many nights, how many weeks were you caught up working for this guy? Do you know how long the amount of time was that you're actually working with him offhand?
A little less than a month.
Okay.
From the time that I left to the time I got picked up or put back into the system. Yeah, about a month.
And one night, you said that he would follow behind you and make sure you were doing what you're supposed to be doing. And then you said at one point he would start to give you, I wouldn't say freedom's not the right word, but he essentially would just send you out to do it by yourself. And there was an evening that you met up with you passed a police officer at the 7-Eleven, and you made a mad dash to him to say, hey, I need fucking help. Talk to us about how that transaction went between you and the officer.
Yeah. So one of the early on nights, I want to say maybe within like the second week or end of the first week, he had sent me out alone, and we were by a 7-Eleven, a gas station, and a donut store. And I went to, I want to say, the 7-Eleven first or the gas station first, one of them. They're right next to each other. And I asked if I could use their phone to call the police. And the guy was really weird about it. He was like, no, you can't use my phone. No, get out.
Wow.
Like, he just made me leave. So I was like, okay. So I went to either the gas station or the 7-Eleven next door to the other place that I was at. and I asked them, can I use their phone to call the police? And literally as soon as I asked, there's police outside arresting somebody. And he's like again, out of like a movie scene, he's like, turn around, like they're outside, like go talk to them yourself. I was like, what the hell? It blew my mind away.
Yeah, but that
I was like, okay.
You're thinking that was your ticket. That was your ticket out of there, though.
Yeah, I was like, okay, like finally I'm gonna get out. And I go up to the cop with this, he had a motorcycle helmet on, and he was just going back to his bike, I want to say, to write paperwork on the guy they had just arrested or something. And I told him, like, I'm a minor, I'm on the run, please help me. And it was something short and simple, just like that. And he looked me up and down like I was the scum of the earth. And he was like, I'm busy, come back, or something along those lines of I'm busy.
Wow.
Like he just made me feel awful, like looked at me like I was just like this terrible person, you know, like I was the criminal.
LAPD.
So I walked away. Yep, they're awful. They're awful.
Oh man.
And I walked away, and like I was back to the hotel, like the cop car could still see me walking back to where I was going. And they ended up pulling out, finished with the arrest, and they passed me by and didn't stop or anything.
God.
Wow.
Oh, it's so fucking terrible. And
Damn.
they
The most
did
awful part of the story to me.
they didn't help you. They left you. And then when you went back to the hotel that night,
Protect and serve.
protect and serve, man. And when you went back to the hotel that night, you had nothing. You had no money. You didn't turn any tricks, and your pimp took his anger out on you. Am I right?
Yeah, he beat the shit out of me that night.
Yeah.
Big time.
Fuck, man.
Yeah.
Oh God, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you went through that. And if I ever see that motherfucker out, the pimp and the cop,
Right?
I got something.
Me
for
more so
them.
the cop, the pimp, whatever. The cop is who I want.
Yeah, that's fucked up, man. That would, being a police officer, that's your bread and butter, man. Saving kids and saving women. That's why you become a police officer, man.
Yeah.
To save a girl being trafficked like a teenager. That's why you join the police force. That and fucking free fountain drinks at 7-Eleven. Shit. I know how it goes. I think, yeah, dude, we need to fucking find that guy and fight him.
For sure.
He's probably a pussy. He's probably got one of those, like, brass truck nuts and stuff. And,
Probably.
riding a Harley at work. Such a simp. He can't even wait till he gets home. He has to ride his Harley at work too. Now, was that the first night that you went out by yourself? I know you said it only happened a few times, but I guess that would make sense that would be your first night. If the first night out by yourself, the first police officer you found, you cried for help.
Yeah, it was the first night that I remember him letting me go out by myself.
And
yeah,
in turn, the next night you went out and he said, listen, if you don't come back with money this time, I'm going to fucking kill you, right?
Yep.
Can I ask you a really stupid, and I'm not trying to make it seem insensitive, but just curiosity. What kept you that first time that you were out from running?
Not knowing where I was at.
Okay.
And I was very naive at the time and just kind of like scared and wimpy about the whole thing. Like,
sure.
I didn't think to run anywhere else because I was like, he's going to find me if I go anywhere else. Like, this is my only chance. Like, there being like a gas station here and like me maybe getting to call the police. But I was just scared.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
I figured it was something along. Obviously, the nights that he followed you, you really don't have that option, but.
What were these, when these guys would get you in the car or whatever, and you would tell them that you're a minor, and you would tell them that you weren't, it's like you weren't doing what they wanted to do. Were you getting like attacked by the Johns as well, or were you strictly the the physical abuse was only coming from your pimp, or were you getting it from the street as well?
Just the pimp. No, the Johns pretty much know better than to do that. Because a pimp will pretty much kill a John for like putting hands on one of his girls.
Yeah.
But they'd get really mean and really nasty with me. Like, get the fuck out of my car. Like, what are you in here for then? Get the, like, just angry and mean and very hostile.
Yeah.
Shoot, I had a couple of them throw like dollar bills at me and say, fine, just get the fuck out.
Okay. Fuck, man, thanks. Thanks.
Fuck, man, thanks.
Oh my god, you're so nice and sweet, and like the more and more I talk to you, I'm just like, man, I fucking hate this happened to her. It sucks, and we'll kill any of those people that you want us to. We'll take care of it. You think? Do you still? I mean, I'm sure you still live kind of where you ran around essentially. Do you ever run into people today that you remember from the street, or do you ever see your pimp around, or what's that like?
So thankfully, no. I've never ran into any of the Johns or any of the pimps because I live like on the outskirts of LA right now, and the place that it took place in was like San Bernardino, so more out towards like that area, which is like an hour and a half, 2 hours away from where I'm at. So I hardly am ever over there. Never have come across anybody from over there, thankfully.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Yeah, I'm sure that would be definitely a triggering situation, to say the least.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So that night you came back and you didn't have any money. He just really, really roughed you up. That next night he sent you out and said, look, if this happens again, I'm going to have no choice but to kill you. So you're going out for the night by yourself again with that weighing on your conscience that, okay, one, the police are not going to help me even if I do go to them. Two, if I come back with no money, I'm likely going to be murdered. So that was the night when Rob asked the question, why didn't you just run that night that you knew you would potentially get killed on the way back? That's the night that you ran, for lack of a better term.
Yeah. So I like I said, I was just afraid and couldn't run, and didn't feel like it was a good idea. And I want to say maybe like 2 or 3 days after, I feel, because so I'll tell you, I don't really have the time frame all perfect because it's all one big jumble.
And listen,
honestly,
and you even told us like he had you fucked up on something, and you were dope sick whenever you went back to the facility after you were finally picked up off the street by the government. Essentially, I shouldn't say people that wanted to help you, but the system picked you back up. So for anyone listening to this and say, well, she doesn't even remember. Well, he likely had you. I would say he probably had you strung out on heroin or fentanyl, or he had you on something that had you altered to where you were dealing with some fucking psychosis, dealing with a little bit of, hey, where the fuck am I at? What's going on? And he kept you strung out. And that, even if you, and you even spoke to the fact that even at the time you were a bit naive, so you may have been doing things that you didn't even realize you were partaking in. So for someone to say like, oh, she doesn't know the time frame, you don't have to explain yourself. Yeah. You were dealing with a lot. You're potentially, unbeknownst to you, strung out on an unknown type of narcotic or drug or whatever it was. So for you to say, oh, the timeline's a little hazy in my mind, that makes complete sense because of what you were dealing with. But there was the night that you finally said, okay, enough is enough. And you I guess you reached out for help. Just, was it at a bus stop, or how did that happen?
So, I had ended up getting lost. So we got separated. So I got into a car with somebody, and they ended up taking me farther from where like the location that the pimp was. So we got lost, and I could not find him. and I ended up going into a neighborhood and sleeping on somebody's like porch for like maybe an hour, 30 minutes tops. And then I like couldn't really sleep because it was like a hard wooden like bench I slept
it's a fucking
on.
porch. I wouldn't go to sleep either.
Like,
I need a mattress and a goddamn pillow.
So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna like try to go walk and see if I can find him. And because I had got to a point where it's like I didn't want to go anywhere else but with him because I didn't know where I was at. Like you were saying, like I was on drugs and stuff, so I'm scared this whole time, naive. Like I was just like, I want to be with him because at least this is all I know right now. And I ended up going and sitting at a bus stop, and this random drunk dude who just got off of work at Party City, probably like
Party City.
I love it.
He's selling fucking birthday decorations,
selling fucking helium balloons.
You said he got off work and he was drunk.
Yeah, like he had a beer in his hand, like he was. It's like he just got off of work, just got some beers, and was already drunk. Just walking, he like walked up to the bus stop, and I think he was like maybe mid-20s. Early 20s, and I think he could tell that something was off. Like I hadn't showered in the whole month. Like he never gave me a chance to shower, really changed my clothes, so I was disgusting.
Oh my god.
Like I don't even understand how people wanted to pick me up anyways.
No wonder they're making you get out of their car.
Yeah. So I haven't showered like at all that I could remember. He may have showered me when I was like, blacked out high or something, but I pretty much stunk so bad at the end. And I think he could tell just by like how I looked, my clothes, like the glazed over look in my eyes and just all that. And he was like, where are you going? Or what are you doing? And I was like, oh, I'm waiting for my cousin, like just some bullshit excuse. Yeah. And he was like, oh, are you sure? Do you want to come like have a beer and smoke some weed with me or something? And at this point I was like, he's like, you could use my shower too. And I was like, he really did say that.
He's like, you fucking stink. Let me.
You should be like, you just got off work at Party City and you're trying to tell me I need to take a shower.
So yeah, he was like, he offered all that stuff, and I was basically like, you know what, I don't have anything to lose, like fuck it, what's the worst that can happen? So honestly, what's the worst that could happen?
You honestly could have been restarting the cycle at that point and not even realize, but thankfully it was, you said you don't believe in God, but he was your fucking guardian angel.
Yeah, he really was. And I wish I could find him and thank him, but I've never been able to find that person ever again. But anyways, so we ended up walking to his apartment or his parents' I don't know who it was, family member or somebody he was staying with. And he like let me shower, let me change, got me some food. We smoked some weed. He gave me some alcohol. And he was like, in the morning, I'll tell you where. He even washed my clothes, like really nice, and didn't
what a sweetheart.
touch me or anything. Yeah. Like he was just like I got you, like I'll help you out. And he said in the morning he would let me know like what trains to take to get back, because he asked me where I was from and everything, and like where I lived, and did I have somebody I was staying with or something.
Did you come clean with him and tell him like, hey, I'm being held captive right now, I
not quite, because I was kind of like, I don't know, I didn't think he'd believe me. I didn't know if it was worth telling somebody. So I just kind of like was like, okay, he's gonna give me directions to get the fuck out of here. So I wake up in the morning, he like gives me breakfast, sends me off, and tells me what train stations to take and trains to take to get to where my grandparents lived, which is about like 2-hour train ride or something like that. So I take all these different trains. I end up getting lost a little bit in like Hollywood, and then figure my way out back to where I'm supposed to go, the route I was supposed to take. And then finally, by the grace of whatever the fuck, I made it to my grandparents' house. And I never heard from him again. Like, I was blocked on everything by the pimp, like, as soon as I got to my grandparents' house and was able to, like, check my stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've never been able to, like, find him. The police kind of talked to me a little bit when I was in juvenile hall, and they're starting a case, but they never got back to me or did anything about it.
Yeah, you tell them they already dropped the ball once. You weren't trying to fucking help them out again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, and what happened after you made it back to your grandparents? They say, all right, you can chill here. They say, nope, back to the fucking group home.
Oh, yeah. My grandma was not having it. So my grandpa could tell. My grandpa knew something was really off, and he wanted to let me stay the night and shower because I think he was like, you stink, you look like you're strung out. Like, let her just spend the night, we'll feed her something. And my grandma was like, absolutely not. Like, that's harboring a fugitive. Like, I'm not. Like,
Damn.
She made it.
She's like, I'm not going to be an accessory.
Yeah, Nana wasn't going back to jail.
Yeah, so she was like, I'm not having it. So they let me shower and everything. My grandpa and my sister took me to like McDonald's, and then ended up taking me to the juvenile hall. And I ended up spending like a month in there, and my grandparents like were finally like, okay, we'll let you come back home and try back at home.
And that's where you've been ever since?
For the most part, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you think that,
I mean, I ended up going back to juvenile hall, but you know, I made my way back here.
Yeah, but you're doing good now though, right?
Yeah, doing great now. Finally figured out what I want to do career wise. So I'm in school to be a vet right now.
Hell
I work
yeah.
at a vet or a veterinarian hospital, an emergency clinic. I'm a vet assistant. I really enjoy like working with animals. I found that that's like my passion.
That's why
And
you
I've
wanted
also done a little bit of. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, that's why you wanted to come on this show, because you like dealing with animals.
No, that's not nice.
Go on with what you're saying. I'm excited to hear all this. So go ahead with what you were saying.
Let's see. Oh, I was just saying that I've like also done like a little bit of speaking as well.
Oh, hell yeah.
I spoke to some law students at Pepperdine who were in their final year of law school, and are getting their PhD or something along those lines.
Okay.
And I guess one of the things that they have to do is try to change like a local law on like a smaller scale level type of thing. And I spoke to them about like my story with sex trafficking, and they were trying to change it to where the law currently, or I don't know if they ended up changing it or not, at the time was if you're caught sex trafficking a minor, it's not considered a strike or a violent offense. So they're able to basically do like half of their time and get out, and there's like no strike on their record or anything. Like, so they were trying to change that to where it's a strike and it's considered a violent offense, so they have to serve their full time. So I just kind of was speaking to them and giving like my story, and they're like asking for like different questions and stuff that could help their little study, I guess. I'm not sure what to call it.
It's like a case study type, or not a case study. They're trying to change some some laws and shit, man.
Yeah.
What for someone that might be listening to this show that's caught in the same predicament as you, in the same situation, I know a lot of people get stuck in this vicious cycle for years, for months and months. While you're not fortunate at all in this situation, I guess that one of the most fortunate things about this is you said about a month is all the amount of time you spent where you were being subjected to the streets. You were being subjected to being sexually assaulted. You were a minor. You were being trafficked. If someone last ditch effort here that's listening to the show, what advice would you give to someone that is just trying to find a way out, that is looking for that lifeline? What in the beginning of the show we did drop in the trafficking hotline where you can reach out to that. But what from Haley's eyes, what advice would you give? The
advice I would give is to reach out to somebody. Like, as much as you think that it's helpless and you're stuck in this forever and it's all that you know and that's all that your worth is, because at a point I know it starts to feel like this is all I'm worth. Like, I'm not worth anything more than this. It's just, you have to reach out to somebody, and you have to find it within yourself to be strong enough to know that you're not worth being laid up every night with some random men and not taking home any of the money that you made, and being beat and being told that, you know, you're going to be killed if you don't make this money for these men. Like, it's, what do you say? You're worth more than you think. All the degrading and the grooming aside, you're a lot more worth more than you think. And there's so much help out there. There's so many small organizations that will take you in, that will find you homes, that will help you get an education, help you get your driver's license, help you get cars. Shoot, I had a mentor from working within like the community of sex trafficking and like getting help and things like that, after the fact, who, when I turned, I want to say 19, he like got me a car.
Wow.
Like full on paid for it and everything, just to be able to help me get into school and to do all the things that I wanted to do. Like, he got me into school and into a program to where they were helping me with like food and all different type of things. Like, there are some amazing people out there. Yes, there are some people that will give and give and give and give and only do it just out of the genuine kindness of their hearts, just because they're good people. So as much as that life can jade you and make you think that there's nobody good out there, that you're not worth anything, I promise you there are just as many, if not more, good people in this world that want to show you that you're amazing, you know, and you're not just what the streets has made you become, you know?
That's awesome, Haley. I mean, my, that thing like where your throat starts to water a lot right before you start crying.
Mm-hmm.
My throat was doing that when she was telling all that stuff, how he got you a car, and you otherwise, just thinking about your situation, Haley, you could have been you could have just went from nothing to nothing. You could have just been dead in the water, left a bad situation, and landed in another bad situation. But fortunately, there's people out there that, you know, kind of seen you through it. And I hope that you'll continue to build on all of the awesome shit you're doing in your life. I just want to tell you, you know, we think the world of you. You really are a fucking ray of sunshine. I don't know if anyone's ever told you that, or if you've heard that lately, but from the moment we've connected with you here, you've made us smile, and you've made me feel welcome. And I know you had a story to tell, but also I didn't really think about how awesome of a person we were going to get to meet. So thank you for that. And if we have anyone that reaches out, sends us an email or something like that, we'll definitely shoot them your way, because I know you'd be happy to, maybe even without asking, you would be happy to talk somebody through a situation like this if given the opportunity.
Yes, anytime. And I have plenty of resources for anybody going through that. I keep in contact with a bunch of different small organizations that would be able to help you get out of that life and you know, live the life that you're meant to live.
Yeah.
Not one where you're being exploited and abused.
No, but we are tremendously thankful, and it's the best part about all this is you aren't just someone we met. You know, you're someone that's been listening to the show for a long time. So through your struggle, through everything you went through, you know, we've been there with you, and we're going to continue to be there with you. I don't ever hesitate to reach out to us, as I've been told I give tremendous fucking advice. The best. So if you ever find yourself in a situation where you need to talk, you know, I'm sure you got a lot to unload, and you got quite the demons you live with. If you ever find yourself in that situation, we're always here for you, Haley, okay?
Oh, thank you guys. I really appreciate that.
Yes.
Of course.
And I also want to tell you, and this is not a joke, that was one good-looking kitty you had crawling around in the background. I am a kitty cat connoisseur, okay? Look at that kitty. Is that a boy kitty or that kitty is
Yeah,
disturbing.
he's a boy.
Big stretch.
Yeah, look at him. What's his name?
His name is Alice. I thought he was a girl at first, so he got a girl name.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, look at Alice Cooper.
Yeah, it's really big.
Yep.
Some big balls in that cat, Alice. That's good. I always that's like one of my favorite parts. Not only do I love meeting the people that we get to meet through our travels, but when we get the opportunity to meet their animals,
Yeah.
I love that just as much. It's cool to see other animals out there just living the fucking good life, you know. But all right, well, we will cut off the interview here, but we're going to talk to you without recording for a few more minutes. But once again, from the Brohio Nation, thank you so much to you and Alice for coming on the show and the time you gave us. And I truly mean that. You're a beautiful person. You have a huge heart and you have a lot to offer the world. So don't ever feel anything other than that. Okay.
Thank you guys. I really appreciate you guys having me and being so welcoming.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah. We are ultimate fucking dads. Is what we are.
The pleasure was all ours. Trust us.
And we'll, can't wait to get this episode up. And if you guys want, you can send us an email, brohiopodcast@gmail.com. If you do want to talk to Haley, we'll get you hooked up with her. She's got all kinds of resources at her disposal, and she's got good advice. She's not going to be able to give you a new fucking car, but she can possibly point you in the goddamn You might be getting an email from me. Who knows? I went out this morning and the van had a flat tire, so I'm just thinking about rolling the thing into the street. Whoever takes it, takes it. But once again, thank you, Haley, so much, and we'll catch up with you next time, okay?
All right. Thank you guys.
Yep.